Good morning, Ivy Lit. Welcome to the end of your work week. It is Thursday or Friday, depending on when you're watching this. So, in order to receive attendance today, you need to submit an assignment to Empower. That assignment will be your beloved quiz for chapters 7 through 12. And then additionally, you want to spend some extra time doing some reading today. So let's check it out. Before we start, I just want to remind you that we've only got about 2.5 weeks left in the semester. Realistically, we have 2 weeks left in the semester. All schoolwork from my class for literacy, anything that's missing or current, will be due no later than December 18th. I will not accept any work after December 18th. So if you are behind on assignments, if you haven't been as up on Zooms as possible, or you have not been doing work on Empower, you need to be checking in with me. Let's talk. Don't give up on yourself. Let's find a way to ensure that you can submit work that I can evaluate before the semester ends so that you can pass and not dash out if you happen to be one of those people. If you're watching this, most likely you're not one of those people. So do me a favor, folks. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to the people in literacy. Check in with them. Give them a little talk. Have a little moment. The things we say to other people matter, right? And people are listening even when they don't always sound like it. So that takes us into our mindful moment. I want to talk about vibrations because I think this connects to basically everything I'm always talking about. But last class, we talked a little bit about language. We listened to Jason Silva's video, and I tried to impress upon you the significance of words, the power of words. They literally create the world that we understand, right? And when those words are spoken, right, that's sound. And sound is essentially just a vibration. Or really a vibration is a wave of sound moving through the air. That's what a vibration is. And those vibrations move at different speeds, at different levels, in different ways, depending on the frequency of the vibration, right? How quick or how slow or how high or how low is it actually vibrating? So I'm going to open up this video here. We're going to take a look at this resonance experiment. And so I'm going to turn the volume down nice and low, and just keep in mind your volume should be low too, because they're going to play some sounds. And you can listen to the sounds if you want. You'll see that they start at a very low. Let me turn it up a little bit. You'll see they started at a pretty low frequency. And what they have there, that's just a vibrating board, and they sprinkle a little bit of salt or maybe sand on top of the board, and they send a vibration through the table. These vibrations create these different images and different patterns, and depending on the pitch of the vibration, it creates a different image every time. So we're just going to watch this moment and enjoy what happens when the sound changes. Just keep in mind, if the sound is starting to bother you a little bit, turn your volume down until the video is complete. They're at 1033 hertz, so you can hear her identifying which level of vibration they reach. The higher pitch they get, the more it might start to bother your ears, so please make sure you're turning the volume and being conscious. So isn't it fascinating how it completely shifts and looks completely different depending on the sound coming at it? That's what vibration is. So it's a wave sound wave. I enjoy watching these patterns. This itself is sort of mindful. So if you want to on your own music and watch this video some more. We're not going to watch the whole thing because it's pretty long. But part of why I wanted you to see this is because sound essentially is what our world is made up of, right? We use words, we use language to understand the world around us. And we have sounds coming at us all the time. We are constantly being hit with vibrations of sound and energy. And those sounds have an impact on how we feel and who we become and what we believe about ourselves. And that is, yes, the sounds of other people, but the loudest sound you hear the most is your own. And so language and the vibration that we send out into the world matters, and it impacts us, right? So depending on what sort of pattern, shape, image you want to create with what you put out into the world, you have a say in that. Language is power, and so is sound. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, challenge yourself, be your own best friend. Find a way to be your own best friend, okay? And this starts with talking nicely to yourself. So go do something today that maybe seems hard, but you know you can do, and you can handle it, and you're going to make it happen. So for work today, for your attendance, you'll need to submit your Empower Beloved quiz. This is on chapters 7 through 12. You can find the activity under the Beloved playlist on Empower. There's 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, 2 pages essentially. For part 1, you will do a quick summary essentially of each of the chapters that we read, 7 through 12, and you'll do that visually. So you will need to find images online that reflect the main events of each particular chapter. Then secondly, you will use the analysis we did in last class to compose one paragraph where you are taking this idea, this author technique, and connecting it to one of the 7 central concepts the best you can. This is your first attempt at it. I don't expect perfection here. But what I do expect is for you to do your best writing today. I really want to see what you can do with your words. So be really thoughtful about how you say things. Make sure your sentences are complete and clear. Make sure that you incorporate, just like in a good IA, transitions, and that your ideas build on each other, and that you're providing some context for what you're talking about, and that you use evidence, and then you unpack all the parts and layers and pieces of that evidence. And then you conclude your ideas, right? It needs to be well organized. Show me what you know about writing a good paragraph. That's your goal today for the second part of the quiz. You're going to need to include a minimum of 5 of the vocab words from vocabulary.com. You can pull from any list you want this time. You do not have to pull from this week's words. In fact, I recommend you use a word or 2 that you used previously on the last quiz, so that now your brain is remembering it as a word it understands, because repetition is key. In general, you will also receive here are the 7 central concepts in case you need to see them to connect your author intention to one of these ideas, okay? And then lastly, you'll complete the 3 column chart. What is the author doing? How is the author doing it? And why? So essentially, this is where you identify what you can see. This is your evidence. This is your fact. This is where you identify and unpack and evaluate what you can see. Trees represent life. Chokecherries are bitter fruit. Sap is literally like the blood of a tree. Okay. And then the why is the connection. What is important about the fact that the sap is a blood of a tree and it is being compared to the blood on Setha's back? Okay. And remember, any attempt here is good. Do not worry about perfection. Your goal is to give this a shot. All right. So once you have your chart, you've done your thinking and your analysis, then you will want to complete the actual quiz on Empower. You will turn this analysis into one paragraph. I was going to give you an example paragraph, but I'm going to wait to show it to you. I want to see what you come up with first. So we'll take a look next class at an example paragraph and talk about how our paragraphs in general could be better. We will discuss chapters 7 through 12 and what went down. And That's about it. After you've done the quiz, if you have time, if you need to keep reading. Try to shoot for 20 minutes today. The quiz should take you about 20 minutes. It really shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes to write a paragraph that you've already prepared for. If you've already done that work, you're just turning that into sentences. So don't spend too much time on it. It's one paragraph on a quiz. You're just showing me what you know. Okay? Keep reading if you need to. Feel free to read ahead. Our goal is to finish this text before Christmas break, and I didn't change that slide, but here is where it is correct. You'll continue reading Beloved. You should be through chapter 18 in 1 week. We will quiz again next Friday as your Empower attendance for chapter 18. You will also be assigned a new vocabulary list on vocab.com, and that will be sent to you tomorrow afternoon after my 5th period has done their stuff. Complete any missing or late work, and if you haven't yet, get ready for your IA because we still have some coming up next week. There's no time like the present. Do not get on your phone after you stop watching this. Do not go scroll through social media. Do not go back to sleep. You should get started on some work. Give literacy at least 45 minutes today, and if you're behind, try to get it some more. If you need anything from me, please reach out. I'm here. I'm helpful. I mean, maybe sometimes. And I have office hours today from 1 to 3. So you can just jump on our class Zoom link, and I will be there hanging out, ready to answer any questions you might have. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.